Hi, this is Sarah from Align with Sarah. Last night I was doing my live stream for Let's Talk Tuesday, and I had a point that I was making, and then I kind of forgot what I was saying. So I'm here to follow up with that and share the thought. So this month, my focus on my personal development is the concept of being the change and sort of fast forwarding to the thing that I want, being very clear and very aligned with the end result and not necessarily super focused on the in between and the struggle and the details of the changes that need to happen. So, that concept of just really fast forwarding to the end of being the change. In Let's Talk Tuesday, I talked about where this concept came from, that it arrived in my awareness, and you can check that out. I'll link that video with this video, just so not to recap everything, so this could be shorter. But I wanted to talk about the experience that you've probably had, I know I have had, where we try to say something and like we don't believe it and we know we don't believe it. Um, where it could be something like, I'm not afraid anymore, or something like my financial goal of, I've noticed how it feels to say this, and even to be brave enough to say it out loud to myself, share it in my community of I could make $8,000 a month. That's my financial goal. When we say these things of, even like I'm worth it. I feel like there's some kind of like hair product commercial from back in maybe the 90s where it was like, you're worth it. And whatever, I feel like it was some kind of like expensive hair something or other. But we can like feel very weak. We could feel very quiet. We could feel very like um, insecure about saying something, saying that phrase. And as we grow and as we align, when things arrive in our life to teach us those lessons of like, yeah, you really don't need to be afraid anymore. Yeah, you could really make that financial goal. It becomes less scary. We become more aligned. We have more strength. We have more confidence. We can be louder with saying that, growing into that phrase. We can feel it sometimes. We can hear it sometimes in others and in ourselves if we are honestly looking and noticing and listening and shifting to all the opportunities and the information that's around us. So, another example of this is when we say, I'm going to start exercising on Monday. I'm going to change my diet next week. I'm going to talk to them about this. I'm going to not let this one go. I'm going to confront so and so. I'm going to stop lying. I'm going to start um, eating better. I'm going to start, back with my meditation practice, where we have those very weak things we're throwing out there where we're almost trying to like convince ourselves. It feels different than, how can I set myself up right now to be in the place where I want to be? I want to be that change, and I want to be on that other side. Years ago, when I worked with a coach, her name is Krista, she was so adamant about instilling that concept, or even almost like erasing the concept that many people feel like growth has to be incremental, and it does not have to be. Unless you believe it has to be, unless you believe it is, that's a limiting belief. It's a foundational thinking. I got to struggle, I got to whatever, no pain, no gain. All of it is BS, and all of it is a choice. And we can skip over all of that and just start being the change. Just start exercising right now. Just do something better for your body right now. Just make the commitment from this moment forward There's nothing to hide. There's nothing to um, convince myself of because I'm going to be the change. And it's a pretty amazing experience to when you have had that. I know I have had that before where trying to sort of convince myself, and a lot of times it does come through the vision board where it plants that seed. It also helps us recognize what it is we want. Because again, I say this all the time, we could be so focused on what it is we don't want that that ends up getting all of our attention, and that's what ends up growing. What it is that you want. What do you want? You can have that right now. Moving forward with the integrity of being the change that you promise yourself, that you promise others, that you are trying to convince yourself or convince somebody else or, whatever. Um, Being the change and having that experience of aligning with the words that we're saying, the thoughts that we have. Um, it's a pretty great experience. And clearing those limiting beliefs, clearing the trapped trauma, clearing the energetic imbalances inside of us. I think it's made out to be, again, this very like, growth does not have to be incremental. The healing does not have to be incremental. The healing just has to have your commitment. The growth has to have your commitment. And when our eyes are on the prize of this fact, this financial fact over here. People all the time make this much money. People all the time make this money and feel like it's not enough. People make this money and feel like it's, um, you know, over the moon. Everybody's goals are different. 100% though, the growth, when it's incremental in the way that we expect it. And we can always just launch right over into clearing all of that BS baggage, the emotional baggage, where we can have our goal and then start thinking of all of these things of like, oh, didn't work for this person, didn't work for that, this sucked that one day, and this whatever. Or we can just recognize that those are stories and there's an infinite amount of other stories out there that are way more productive, way more supportive, and way more helpful. And the more we can release the old stories that don't work for us, the more room there is for the stories that do. Okay, so I don't want to talk forever. Um, Thank you for being here. And please make a comment here on this video. Please like and subscribe. This channel is growing so beautifully. I feel so proud of it. And so all the support that it gets, it just really feels important to me. And this channel is small enough, so when you contribute, I see it directly and it makes a difference. So please take a moment to do that and help this channel grow. And I will see you again real soon. Okay, thanks so much.